The easiest way to reduce payroll is not to have any payroll, obviously. In this lesson, I'm going to tell you why your profit margin is dropping and, of course, what to do about it. If it's your first time here, I'm Jonathan Kendall, founder of Virtual Worker Now. That said, if low profit margin is crushing your cash flow, I'm going to show you how to fix that in 6 easy steps. But first, hit subscribe and push the bell notification. On this channel, we share actionable, tactical business advice that will help you scale, but we keep it interesting by also using lessons from philosophy, history, literature, and of course, books. With that said, let's dive in. There are 2 types of profit margin, and you need to know the difference. Gross margin, which is your revenue per product minus the cost of goods sold for that product. So let's say if you sell a chair for $100 and it costs you $25 to build and $10 in shipping, the gross margin is $65. But that doesn't include the payroll or the cost of software that you're using or the rent or your marketing costs. When you subtract all of these expenses, that's how you get your net profit margin. So let's start with gross profit margin. If your gross margin is off, there are 3 steps that you can take to fix it. 1, buy in bulk. When you buy in bulk, you usually get a discounted price per unit, which means that when you sell those items at their regular price, your gross profit margin is higher than it would be if you were not buying in bulk. This is especially true for businesses that have a high turnover or products that have a short shelf life, like food products, for example. It's more upfront risk, of course, to buy in bulk rather than the minimum order, but the margins are much higher. So it's a classic risk versus reward. 2, find a new supplier. Another way to increase your gross profit margin is by finding a new supplier with cheaper prices. There are many different suppliers out there depending on what your business is, and it pays to shop around for your best deal and also make them fight against each other for your business. You may be able to find a supplier who offers better pricing or free shipping, or maybe they'll even ship the product for you, which is called drop shipping or a white label option. This can dramatically reduce your costs and increase your bottom line. 3, increase your prices. This one is obvious, but it is really one of the most effective ways of improving your gross profit margin. Before increasing prices, however, do your homework and see what your competitors are doing before you decide to bump up your prices. Find the sweet spot between being competitive in the market, but also protecting your margins. Get that right, and you will improve your profits quickly and efficiently with minimum fuss. This also may require that you improve your marketing pitch to increase the perceived value before someone buys, or you may have to include additional features or bonuses to justify the price increase. But either way, that's the easiest way. All right. So now let's talk about net margin. So what if your gross margin is fine, but your net margin is where you're having all your trouble? When it comes to low net margin profits, there are usually 3 big culprits: low AOV, average order value, inefficient marketing, or a bloated payroll. So we're going to talk about each one. First, add more products. That can help. The reason Amazon is the biggest online retailer in the world is that it has more products than any other retailer in the world. When you add more products, your average order value increases because there are more products and services to buy for your customers. When customers bundle products together, for example, it lowers your CPA, your cost per acquisition, to AOV, average order value ratio, meaning for the same cost of operations, you're making more sales, which increases your net profit margin per sale. But don't just add products willy-nilly. Make sure that whatever products that you're adding are aligned with your current brand and target audience so that they will actually sell. If you sell shoes, for example, add shoe cleaning products or socks or shoelaces, not mufflers. And make sure that your product line is solid in general. If a certain product isn't performing well, then it's better to replace it with a better product that can be added to those bundles. Another way, cut down on payroll expenses. So the second tip is to cut down on your payroll expenses. You might want to consider outsourcing, for example, Virtual Worker Now, or hiring an agency that's performance-based, or you can just roll up your sleeves and do it yourself if necessary. The easiest way to reduce payroll is not to have any payroll, obviously. So working 12 hours a day, 7 days a week, if you have to, if you're a startup and it's just you, sometimes in life you have to exchange time instead of money. But if you can pay for it, it's always better to outsource. You can get the same level of service, oftentimes better, for a much more affordable rate. Okay. And then the final way is to cut down on your marketing expenses. So how do you decrease marketing expenses? That's a good question. That's an entire lesson, and we'll have another lesson about that later. But for a quick tip here, there are 3 things that you should do to lower your marketing costs. 1, are you using the wrong marketing channel? Maybe you're focused on paid advertising when you should be building an affiliate network, or maybe you have affiliates, but you're missing out on SEO. Testing will help you find the strategy that best works for your business. The goal here always is to lower your cost per acquisition or your cost per lead, but it's going to take testing. 2, improve your targeting. So don't waste your money targeting the wrong people. That sounds obvious, but a lot of people do it. If your targeting is not right, or you're spending too much on the top of the funnel prospecting potential new customers that are cold, you're probably wasting money. You should instead be spending money at the bottom of the funnel with people that are warm or hot, or maybe almost buying your product. And 3, it is to improve your pitch and your ad creatives. If no one is clicking on your ad or your article, if no one is signing up for your call or coming to your site, it's probably because your copywriting or your design needs to be improved. You need to figure out how to articulate your pitch better. Okay, so here it goes. If you want to improve your e-commerce profits, there are a few steps that you can take. Buying in bulk and finding cheaper suppliers will help you lower your costs. You can also add more products to improve overall sales or consider increasing your prices. Finally, cut down on marketing and payroll expenses. A lot of this is math, obviously, to be honest, which is why your income statements and accounting and tracking also needs to be on point so that you can know what's going on. And if you don't know whether the problem is your net or your gross margin, and you don't know whether it's your CPA or AOV or your LTV, if you don't know what your payroll to revenue ratio is, then it's really impossible, honestly, to solve this problem. So with all this said, step one is to know the numbers of your business, make sure that your counting is right, so that you know which part of your business to attack. Okay, so with that said, I hope that helped. And of course, as always, if you want help with your business, let us know. There's other videos that you can check out, and we'll talk to you soon.